If you're waiting for someone to give you the one-size solution fits every single website to help you recover from the Google helpful content update, let me be the bearer of bad news. That one-size-fits-all solution is not going to happen for this update. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can't recover from the Google helpful content update, but what I'm saying is this particular update is different from all of the others, and how we recover will be different from all of the others. Now, in the past, I have come up with ways, other SEOs have come up with ways to recover sites from Google updates. But this particular update is a whole lot different, not only with what Google is saying, but I'm going to combine that with what I have seen working in the trenches. Now, for this update, Google has warned us, but the warning is different than any of the other updates. Google is talking about creating helpful content, but has emphasized creating content for people in the search results and not to create content for search engines. And in my opinion, this is getting SEOs to think in a whole different way. Now, in the past, I think we've been really lucky because we haven't been forced to consider people first content. In fact, SEO, search engine optimization, signifies what we've been focusing on. I think we're going to start to refer to those as the good old days. And moving forward will become a little bit more complicated because they're asking us to think in a whole different way. Now, Google always gives us a little bit of clues, although it's really very vague. They do give us clues here and there on what we need to focus on and pay attention to. They just don't create step by step exactly what they want to see. So Google is focusing on helpful content created for people in search results. The helpful content system aims to better reward content where visitors feel they've had a satisfying experience. For the first time, Google is asking us to focus on people first content. In fact, I created an entire video on what people first content is starting to mean to me. If you missed that video, be sure to check it out. Now, I think we can begin to ask ourselves some questions about our sites and the content that we have already created if we're struggling with the Google helpful content update. Google has specifically said, avoid creating search engine first content. To me, this is one of the signs that indicates we need to change our focus. To dial in what we're currently focused on, take a look at your site and all of your pages and posts and begin to ask yourself some questions. Each piece of content, why was it written? Why did you have it published? What were the questions that you asked yourself to publish that piece of content? Did you ask yourself questions about if the term provides traffic? What are your competitors already doing in the space? What is your ROI on this piece of content? How many words needs to be within this content, and what exactly and what entities need to be covered within that piece of content? There are tons of questions that we ask ourselves as we are producing content, but what I want to draw your attention to is the questions that we are asking are search engine related. Another statement that Google made is SEO can be helpful when it's applied to people first content. There is a big change. And with this particular update is when all of us took notice. For once, it's not all about SEO and optimization, but it's also about the audience of your website. And as hard as that may be for some of us to come to this conclusion, things are changing rapidly in the SERPs. On your particular website, have you produced any articles or any material with only your audience in mind? It's a completely different mindset, and it's asking us to consider things that we haven't had to consider in the past. And if I might add, we are being forced to consider at this point. And I think what will throw us off to finding that one cookie cutter solution that fixes sites across the board, you have to look at each site and analyze not only the audience with that site, but how the audience is reacting to your pages. Are they clicking through? Are they finding your form? A shift in focus is necessary at this point to keep moving forward within search engine optimization. And by the way, a couple of days ago, Danny Sullivan was quoted as saying something like, Buckle up because major changes are coming to search engine rankings. I believe we're already starting to see the changes, and by changing our focus, we'll be more prepared for whatever it is that they have coming.